how exactly do you know you need to come in with the hot sauce? Like, whether you've been a boss for a while or if you're a new boss, what is that trigger of like, this meal is really bland and need to spice it up a little bit? What's the trigger there?
So pace. So generally the answer is pace. Urgency creates pace. So you want enough pace. So if you're feeling like people just are not reacting quick enough, they're not moving at the pace you need them to move, like it just feels very like, oh, I'll get to that whenever I get to that. It just feels very slow. They're responding slow. The results you're getting are coming in slower than you would anticipate. That's the prompt and trigger for urgency. No, we need to move this. We need to be moving faster, which is why you set deadlines. You create that discomfort. You got to make sure they trust you before you do that. But you're trying to increase pace.
Okay.
Now, you can't make everything urgent all the time.
Yes.
So you can't just say, I want everybody running quickly all the time, because that will create confusion. Because if we make everything urgent, nothing's urgent. It will ruin priorities. So you want to be intentional on what you're spicing. So the example I give it's like, when you think about leadership in many ways, it's kind of like cooking in a kitchen. You're delivering different kind of stuff coming out of your leadership kitchen. You don't want the appetizers covered in hot sauce, the Caesar salad covered in hot sauce, the entree covered in hot sauce, the brownie covered in hot sauce, the sweet tea covered in hot sauce. You don't want everything covered in hot sauce.
Yeah.
So you gotta be really intentional about what are the things that are the most important, that require the most pace. And that's where you put urgency. So you gotta be really careful that you limit it.
Okay, I have one more question.
Okay.
What if you're the type of leader that is more sweet than spicy? So you tend to put, maybe you're like used to putting honey on everything. And now you've realized, that didn't work and I got to switch to hot sauce. Is there a transition there? Like, do you, or maybe that answer is, you're starting with Frank's and then kind of increasing it back up to ghost pepper, or is there something else that needs to take place in between?
So I would use the hot sauce on the overall critical key things you need done. So you'd say, hey, this thing has got to get done. It's got to get done at kind of this level by this date. Okay. So that's urgency. And the hot sauce is to what happens if it doesn't get done.
Okay.
So if it doesn't get done, we're going to have to, have another conversation about maybe finding you a different role. Okay. That's one level of hot sauce. Or this is just not going to be a good fit for you because we move at a fast pace around here. That's a whole different level of hot sauce. Where you want to use your honey is on the behaviors that you're seeing that you like. So urgency is to kind of set up the pace. And then as they're kind of running on that pace, then that's when you reinforce. You're like, this is exactly what I wanted to see. This is what we talked about last week, and now you brought me an update. This is perfect. You're moving along great. So kind of motivate them with honey along the way, but you want to clearly establish kind of either best case and worst case scenario as to why. Urgency kind of creates the why this is really important.
Nice.
Both for them, but also for the company.
Okay.
And then most people will step up to that. And if they don't step up to that, regardless of how many peppers you put on, then it's just not a good fit for them. They need to find an environment that's doesn't have a lot of urgency. But there aren't many of those like that today.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I gave you 5 stars.
Excellent.
On Amazon because, but that's the other thing that I love about this book is knowing you personally, I hear you through this book. Like literally, I'm reading it in your voice. I'm pretty certain. But also,
I almost want to have you do that right now, but that could be so weird and creepy. I'm not going to do that.